and then we have got something called as the name servers. Okay, so let us understand the meaning of name servers. So to avoid the problems associated with the having only a single source of information, the DNS namespace is divided into non-overlapping zones. So to avoid the traffic, okay, so if there is no proper hierarchy, we'll be having too much traffic on the root node and the subdomains. So to avoid this overlapping, what we can have is non-overlapping zones. So these are grouped into small zones. Okay, one possible way to divide the namespace is shown in the following figure. So this is the non-overlapping zones, like edu. If in this example, in the particular example, if I take this from the root, we have got edu and then Washington. So in this we have two departments, CS and engineering, English. So English department can already connect to directly connect to Washington. That means it doesn't require any new, I mean its own space or its own proper URL. But whereas CS departments wants its own host, but whereas English department can connect to Washington itself. So this is how we group them into small zones. So the encircled zones contains the some part of the tree. So these are the some part of the tree because encircled ones. Okay, so let us understand with a proper example how basically this DNS works. Okay, so let me take up this example now. Okay, so this is the working of this namespace. So let us understand, let us consider that flits.cs.vu.nl. So this is the originator and it wants to access some information present in this robot.cs washington.edu. So how it does is basically we have something called as authority server. So this will be nothing but a authority server, and this is the local DNS server. It is like a cache memory. So if you want to search anything on the internet URL, first what this will do is from your operating system, it will try to check in the local DNS server whether the information is present or no. If it is present in the cache, it will directly get back the information. Otherwise, what this local server will do is local DNS, it will send a query to the root name server. So again, for this, we require this resolver. So the query will be sent to the root name server. And then, so while sending, we use this UDP packets. The root name server gives the reply that this robots.cs.washington.edu, because it is from right to left. First, it will identify whether it belongs to edu or government and so on. So what this root name will do, root name will give the information to the local server that this information, that is robot.cs.washington.edu, this is belongs to edu. That is, it belongs to the subdomain, that is edu. So once this local server information knows that it belongs to edu, then again it will send a query to the edu name server. Like for every, it is like a tree like structure. So one after the other, it sends the query. We can say it is like a recursive algorithm. So, or we can say a recursive query. Usually what we do is we give a query to the database if we give the information. So in a broader view, the originator, that is the host, knows that there is only one query. If I'm typing a URL, I know that there is only one query running, and that is how I'm getting the information that is stored in this particular URL, that is robot.cs.washington.edu. But in reality, local name server is doing a recursive query algorithm. Like it is first sending a query for the to identify the whether it belongs to edu, government, and so on. Once that gets back that information, again it will send the information to get the name. So in that time, edu name server will give the information that it belongs to Washington. And then again, it gets the information, the local server, and then it will check for the whether it belongs to the CS department or English department. There were two departments, English and CS. So again, that UW, okay. So this will send the information to the local server that it belongs to the United Kingdom. So it will send the information to the local name server, and then it will this is the authoritative service. So authority server will give the exact URL, that is robot.cs.washington.edu, and then this local name server, the local DNS, will give this URL to the originator. So that means this originator, if I am the host, I know that I am getting the reply that robots.cs.washington.edu, but internally the local name server is sending the information to the root, and then this is the step 2, and then in step 3 it will send us for the edu name server, and it will get the reply that it belongs to Washington. And then from this university, Washington University, it will get the information that it belongs to the CS department, and then it will give the last host, that is robot. So at the end, the local DNS server would get the information that, if I'm the originator, I will get the information that this will be the robot.cs.washington.edu, and then I can search it. So this is for the first time. Suppose assume that you are doing it for the second time or third time. During that time, what will happen? This local DNS server will have a cache memory. So your information will be present in the local DNS server, that is with the help of IP, internet service providers. Instead of going to the root, we have a hierarchy to avoid this traffic. So to avoid the load, instead of instead of sending the query every time to the root, the originator will send the query to the local server first. So if the information is already available, if we have already visited this particular URL or this particular page, so this information will be sent to the originator directly. So to avoid this wasting of time and avoid, we can avoid the recursive queries. So this is how the resolver checks, and the names are converted into IP addresses, and you can get the proper information. So these are the 10 steps that have been shown here. So this is all about the resource records. And next we are going to discuss about is the email. So we'll discuss what is the email. Basically, we know that earlier it was all been sent to the postcards and other things, but as when internet is provided, internet gave the facility of sending the mail facility, we can call it as the electronic mail or the email. So we can directly send or receive the email. Also, we have got many latest facilities in the email. Basically it consists of lot of jargons, you can say, or lot of keywords like CC, okay, copy to and mailbox, okay. So it has got a lot of terms, so we are going to understand them in the coming classes. So in the tomorrow's class we'll study about the architecture and services of the email. So from the exam point of view, or from the you can say from the interview point of view, what is DNS and what is it is required, and they may ask you what is the resolver or what is the task of the resolver. So these are the very much important things that you need to remember. If anybody has any doubts, please let me know. You can unmute yourself now, and if you have any queries, please let us know.